guys, it's Jen and welcome to Top 10. This is our very first episode and I'm super excited, so I hope you guys are too. If you have joined us in our previous episode of Whatta Noob, that was our very first episode where my noob friend JP came and joined us. We went through about 70 different sunscreens and we eliminated things based on criteria that we decided upon. You should definitely check it out if you haven't seen it before this video. And here I am finally showing you guys my top 10 Korean pick sunscreens. So the past few weeks, I've actually been testing them out. One of the things that I need to mention is that we had about 17 shortlisted products at the end of Whatta Noob, but upon looking at the updated ingredients list, we actually found out that some of them have some ingredients that we needed to eliminate. Unfortunately, I did have to include a couple of different products in the final 10. Some things that I think are not too bad on the list, like silicones are not actually a health hazard. I'm just personally a little bit picky and prefer no silicones in skincare, but again, it's not actually hazardous to our health. So I am making a disclaimer that some of the sunscreens do contain them and we're going to go through them one by one now. Are you guys ready? Before we begin, these are not in any particular order. These are just my random top 10. So first off, we're going to start off with Benton. This is called the Benton Airfit UV Defense Sun Cream. Chemical sunscreen, but it does not contain all of those harsh ingredients like octosalates and things that enter your bloodstream that pregnant women or children can't use. It's earth-friendly packaging. It has 100% sugarcane packaging, environmentally friendly. More than anything, the texture was amazing. Really light to use, very calming, and it just feels like skincare on the skin. It does have that unique calming effect, so I think it's really good for those who have sensitive skin, or if you are living in an environment that's like really hot, humid, and you want your skin to just feel soothed and calmed and not feel heavy or greasy at all. Huge thumbs up to this sunscreen here by Benton. Next up is Dr.Orga 100 Sun Cream. To be honest, this wasn't really going to make my top 10, but I got convinced because it's such an amazing ingredients list. Out of all of the sunscreens that I tried, this one impressed me the most in terms of ingredients. It's silicone-free, cruelty-free, reef-safe, also got 34.82 organic ingredients in there, which is pretty impressive. It's broad-spectrum sunscreen, UVA and UVB rays protection. Most important, it's a physical sunscreen. It's kind of hard to find physical sunscreens that end up making the list because physical sunscreens usually contain zinc oxide or titanium dioxide, and they're the things that make sunscreens really white and thick. But this one has actually done a good job of balancing the really good ingredients with a very good texture that you can still work with. I personally find it a little bit thick compared to a lot of the chemical sunscreens. It's a little bit hard to work with, but once you work into the skin, it actually blends really nicely and it sits very, very comfortably. And I noticed that those who have dry skin actually really like this. Next product is Dr.Orga's Taicho Derivatives Cica End Sunscreen. It is broad spectrum UVA and UVB rays protection, whitening, anti-wrinkling without a white cast. So this one is amazing because it has a light and blendable, soothing, non-greasy finish. It does have a scent, but it's not from artificial fragrance and it's actually quite nice. Contains niacinamide, so it protects the skin. If you do have acne-prone skin though, I do want to advise you to caution away from it because there are certain ingredients in this which are acids like palmitic acid, stearic acid, myristic acid, glycerol stearate, and glycerol steryl citrate are known to support fungal acne, so just a little heads up for that. So there's some downers about this one, but I did put it in there because it has really, really amazing texture and it just totally feels like skincare. It's so light and soothing, and I think it's something that you could definitely layer on even during the hot summer seasons. So the next sunscreen is this one by Make Prem. You might have heard of this brand. This is called the UV Defense Me Calming Sun Cream and it's certified vegan, which is awesome. It's actually a physical sunscreen too, which is super awesome. It has a slight calming scent to it, which I think is kind of unique. Pear and peach and blackcurrant extracts. It's quite pleasant. It's very, very soothing and moisturizing, as you can see. Kind of like gives you this glow, so it almost looks like a little brightened. Maybe good as a good makeup base for brightening the skin as well. And it does have silicones in it, so do be aware of that if you're not really happy with silicones in your product. Apart from all of the good things about this product, it does have a little bit of a thicker texture to it compared to the other chemical sunscreens because it does contain zinc oxide. Probably good for dry skin, but this one's actually an awesome physical Korean sunscreen. Okay, so next up is this brand you guys would all know about if you know about the whole controversy that happened in the Korean sunscreen industry. Is actually Purito, the daily go-to sunscreen. And they recently did send me like all of their products kind of renewed. Personally found it really, really amazing. It's got everything in it, completely fragrance-free, lightweight, fast absorbing, very blendable, feels like skincare. Contains madecassoside and Centella asiatica extract. It's got earth-friendly packaging, which is printed on soy ink, and it's hypoallergenic. The only little gripe is that it's a mixture of both physical and chemical filters. If it was like fully physical, obviously in my books that would be like 110% good, but it's still pretty good. I thought it'd probably be my favorite in terms of using on a daily basis if I were to choose one of them. So next up is actually a really, really good one that I think is one of my top favorites, and it's actually won a lot of awards in Korea too. It's the 365 Derma Relief Sunscreen by Round Lab. This one is actually a physical sunscreen, contains zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. I don't know how they did this, but it doesn't have any white cast and it's not thick at all. So it feels like a chemical sunscreen. It's so light and lotiony, just totally feels like skincare. It blends like a dream. It's broad spectrum. It's non-nano, which is also awesome. I mean, the more I talk about it right now, the more I realize that this is probably my #1 pick. It smooths the skin. As you can see, it kind of adds a moisturized kind of look. But this kind of slightly greasy initial feeling goes away and it just pats down as it absorbs into the skin and leaves the skin just feeling very nourished and protected without having any greasiness to it. Again, I don't have super oily skin, so I don't want to speak for everyone. I think for me, since I have normal combination skin, it works really well. It contains panthenol, ceramides, Centella asiatica, and all those goodies too. So I think it's good for all skin types, to be honest, and it's a physical sunscreen, so it's like the safest you can go with. If I were to choose a sunscreen to use on my little boy, he's a baby, he's like 1, I would use this one. So if that sunscreen was good, this one is also really good, but it's a chemical sunscreen. So it is actually by the same brand, Round Labs. So this is the same brand's chemical version. Obviously, the texture is much nicer. Basically just like an essence or a lotion. It doesn't have any of the slightly greasiness of the previous sunscreen if I was talking about that. This one literally just blends like a dream. Completely scentless. It's got hyaluronic acid to hydrate the skin, and it's also got niacinamide. So I think it's about the skin type. This one would probably suit those who are dry and you need some hydration. Previous sunscreen would be good for those who need a little bit more moisture. And it's actually meant to be good for the winter season as well. FSC friendly packaging too, printed with soy ink. Okay, next one, I think we're on number 8. This one is by SCINIC and it's called the Enjoy Super Mild Sun Essence. I think I pronounced it wrong. Actually, it's SCINIC. It's the SCINIC in Korean, sorry. This is a chemical filter and it's got broad spectrum protection and it's a very mild scent. It's a slightly more greasy upon first application, but it's so light and it feels just like water after a while. It pats in really nicely. It's kind of like a cream to water type of lotion or something. It's a really nice application. It has plant-derived silicones, which helps to soften the skin, and I think that it's a really good sunscreen for all different skin types. It also contains panthenol and Tahiti vanilla extract for a more comfortable, moisturized feel. Number 9 is Goodal's Houttuynia Cordata Calming Sun Cream. I always laugh when I say that because it sounds funny. I don't even know if I'm saying it correctly. So that's actually an ingredient that's usually found in skincare. It's very calming. So I think maybe those who have inflamed skin, irritated skin, maybe even acne-prone skin. This one is a chemical sunscreen. It's light, it's blendable, it feels like a lotion. At this point, I feel like I'm just totally repeating myself, but that's why these guys made it to the top 10. It leaves the skin looking almost glowy. Again, it contains that Houttuynia Cordata extract for that comfortable, soothing feeling for sensitive skin. And it has a slight undertone of what you think a sunscreen sort of smells like, which is very refreshing, and it reminds me of the beach, even though it doesn't have any scent. Last product, guys, this is our final runner, and this is the Beplain Clean Ocean Moisture Sunscreen. This one is actually a sheer daily sunscreen. It says it provides hydration and mild sun protection without having harmful effects to the marine ecosystem. So obviously it is reef safe, which is always awesome. The packaging is biodegradable. It's printed with soy ink. Hydrating, it's scentless, it's blendable, but I do find that this one slightly kind of slippery feel feeling afterwards, which kind of feels like a really, really light viscose oil. So I think people like JP who have like Sahara skin or my husband even, they would like this a little more. It's also anti-wrinkle, it's got niacinamide, so it moisturizes, so probably good for mature skin as well as those who have dry skin. That is it for the final 10. Yay! Okay, so to be honest, I couldn't choose just one ultimate top favorite, but I wanted to highlight the 5 that really won in terms of not having anything that was harsh or bad. So these ones had no silicones in it. Some of the ones that I did mention have some essential oils or like seed oils and silicones, but these ones didn't. These 5 are my ultimate favorites. If I were to choose from my entire kind of collection, these ones would be the ones that I would even choose to use on my baby, or if I'm pregnant again, or just recommend to my pregnant friends too. So yeah, just to recap, that's the Purito Daily Go-To Sunscreen, which is physical and chemical sunscreen. This is the Goodal Calming Sun Cream. This one is also chemical sunscreen. Then there's the 365 Derma Relief Sunscreen by Round Lab, which was a physical sunscreen and I thought was good for those who have drier skin. And then we have the Dr.Orga 100 Sun Cream, which was also non-nanoparticle, a little bit thicker, so good for dry skin as well. But this one had like the best kind of like impressive ingredients, as well as the Benton UV Defense Sun Cream, which was awesome too. This one's a chemical filter. Thumbs up, and I really hope that this was a useful video for you guys. If it was, please make sure to subscribe for more videos and thumbs up this video. We'll also be generously sharing down below the description box a link to the Excel sheet so you can actually look through all the detailed information about even the top 70 that we went through in Whatta Noob. So if you guys are interested in that, go check that link down below, and of course, don't forget to go watch the Whatta Noob episode if you missed it too. Please let us know in the comments below if you have any requests, whether it be makeup, skincare, anything in K-beauty. We will do the investigation for you guys. So leave them down below and we'll be checking them, and we'll see you guys all in our next Whatta Noob and top 10 video. Bye everyone!